you ever see the film? Did you see the film Gravity with Sandra Bullock?
I saw that on a plane, which is probably like the worst place to watch that
Oh,
fucking
they
movie.
shouldn't even show that on a plane.
Yeah,
I'm
I don't know
always
why. It
they,
was
sh- they
so claustrophobic and terrifying.
but I've seen on planes. Wasn't watching it, but I look in between the gap in the armrests or whatever,
Yeah,
and I
and
can see people
were they
watching
reclining
movies.
in front of you, and then you
Yeah,
started tapping on their seat for reclining?
yes, I was like, God damn you! No, I look through and I see that they're watching a film about a plane hijacking, like they're watching the Harrison Ford movie Air Force One, or they're watching Final Destination, where a plane graphically disintegrates. I'm like, what kind of psychopath are you? You could sit on a plane watching that shit. I
Do you
couldn't do
think
it.
they do that on purpose? Because I mean, somebody has to pick them out and screen the movies, right?
Yeah, some
Yeah,
crazy person is doing it. I just would be like, okay, let's not show them anything about
you
plane
know,
death
like
or hostage taking.
what's a damn shame is that I mean, sci-fi generally, and I like space-based themed things, but oftentimes they paint space as like the most dangerous, like vicious place, which I mean, in a sense, it sort of is. But like, I looked up Gravity, I'm like, oh, astronaut space, let's go. I'm like an hour in. I'm like, this doesn't make me feel good, but I'm so far in, and I still have like 6 hours on the flight left, and I watched
Yeah,
the damn thing, just feeling anxious and
yeah,
adrenalized as fuck because it just shows two astronauts being lost in a rocket ship that they can't get out of, you know?
yeah. It's an anxiety-inducing film. I watched it in the cinema and I had no idea what to expect, and I'm really, really glad I saw it in the cinema because I've seen other films try to replicate the first 15 minutes of Gravity, and they all stink. Because when Gravity did it, it was fresh and it
Yeah.
was great. Like we were at that perfect point where the CGI was there, the concept was there, you could do it, and it was so good, and such an adrenaline rush to
Yeah,
watch
now
it. But I really
imagine
like that film.
yeah, it was good, but imagine being like 30,000 feet in the air with
Yeah.
6 hours left on the flight, just watching these two astronauts being completely untethered to the planet. You know,
Yes.
it's not the best feeling to have, I think.
No, I'm sure. I'm sure that that film has a lot of layers cooked into it as well. It's about therapy and the therapeutic process. And when she loses, oh no, wait, for people who haven't seen it, maybe I shouldn't give spoilers.
By the way,
She,
this is live if anybody in the comments thinks this is pre-recorded.
oh
Anyways,
yes, we're live. Um, the sound is a little echoey. That's me. I'm not using a
are you
proper
sure? I think that's me.
microphone.
I what let me move the mic closer to me. Is it less echoey now? Hello, hello, hello. Can you talk?
Tell us where the echo is coming from.
You hear it?
No, it's me. It's Richard. I'm also in a big room with high ceilings.
Oh, you're talking about like reverb. Sorry, I thought you meant. Okay. Anyways, that's what happens in space. Lots of
Yeah,
echoes and reverbs.
yeah, you get echoes and reverbs. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, guys. I don't have a proper microphone with me. I'm on the move at the moment. So it's me. My sound
Actually,
is
there's
not so
enough
good.
noise cancellation that I actually don't hear any of the reverb, which is why I'm like, I don't really hear anything. Anyways, regardless of that, what are like I like the movies. Like for example, I mean, I know the book is probably better, The Hitchhiker's Guide, and then Fifth Element, my shit. I love Fifth Element, and even Interstellar was really really cool. But I just wish there was a lot more science fiction and space-based films that weren't just about like an alien, a murderous alien or like something that's just vicious and violent.
Did you see Arrivals?
Yeah. Oh, that was sick too.
Yeah,
That
where
was
the alien's not vicious, the alien's quite benevolent.
but that's going along the lines of having the image contradict our projection of what evil should look like, right?
Yes. Yeah. The one thing that was a bit of a contrivance, well, there was a few contrivances in Arrivals, but the obelisk hanging ominously over the earth, which has been done by a couple of films, but it was done the best by District 9. Did you see District 9?
Yeah. I don't remember the obelisk in that one though.
No, it was just a spaceship hanging over the earth because it had
Yeah.
broken and they
Oh,
couldn't
okay,
get rid of
okay.
it. Yeah.
I mean, that started with 2001 Space Odyssey too, right? With the thing.
The obelisk was there, yeah.
Yeah. I just love the image of that, man. It's so fucking weird.
Do you know, I was looking at because I watched it again. I watched it when I was a kid and I really didn't like it. And I watched it again as an adult. And I was like, this is actually a little bit pretentious.
Yeah,
But I
but
wonder,
that's what I don't I honestly like. Oh, of course, film students like Kubrick, like
yeah,
of course they do. It's just like super drawn out and it's so ambiguous. You can't tell exactly what's happening here.
yeah,
And then you just don't understand.
yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
kind of
That's what I
attitude
was
with the
getting. There's a lot
film.
of like, you just don't understand. And I was like, well, I think I could make something like this with the same pacing, the same sort of setting. It was like it was tonally inconsistent in a way that was suggestive but didn't overtly say anything. And I'm like, I'm not sure I'm watching something massively clever.
It's the same like branding situation. I remember having a conversation after an improv class with one of these kids, and they just loved like Kanye's new project or something. I was like, okay, but if another artist released the same exact sound and tonality within this new project, would you like it? And he couldn't exactly answer it. Same thing with this Kubrick thing. Because the name is associated with the project, he's able
Yeah,
to get away with this particular thing. It's not
yeah.
terrible, but even when I was in my 420 days in California, I still couldn't fully enjoy it 2001 because it was so fucking drawn out.
It was drawn out and a little bit too ambiguous. One of the theories that I read online though about the obelisk was that was actually it was actually the cinema screen, the large
Right.
black empty
Yeah.
cinema screen,
Yeah.
and that's what we were all staring into. So
Yeah.
you're watching people stare into this obelisk, going, "What is it?" whilst you're staring into the obelisk. So maybe,
Yeah, I mean, I like the idea of that, but I think the purpose of having like an ambiguous piece of work like that is to allow us to kind of copy and paste what we think. I think
yeah,
there's still meaning into that, but like that those types of films and stuff are generally more for film students or art students in general, and the ambiguous nature is mostly to explore like new ways to make film plus the aesthetic quality. I don't think
right.
it has that much to do with narrative and plot, and it's not the main focus, I don't think.
To Kanye's genius and whether other people could do what Kanye does, scoop diddy whoop de poop, poop de
Dude,
whoop de
I
scoop.
fucking love that. When that first came out, if anybody doesn't know what that is, Kanye released this song after like a long hiatus, and in the middle of it, he just goes, "All right, this is the hottest track to come out from Yeezy. Poop de whoop de scoop, poopity scoop, poop de whoop de scoop."
I loved it, and I love the fact
You
that he
love
released that with a straight face. He just puts it out there, and I'm like, we're all being trolled by Kanye.
it's genius,
He's
man.
gone fully meta. He's fully moved. He's transcended the game. He's trolling us, and now
Right.
we pay him to troll us.
Yeah, and it was released on his website. Is it was the title of the track had like rough draft 1.1 or something, like just on his website with only one play bar. That
Beautiful.
was great.
It became like my favorite song to sing when I was reversing the car or putting the car into a tight space, and I needed to concentrate. I'd be like, poop, diddy, whoop, scoop,
I had
scoop, diddy,
no
whoop, diddy,
idea. I
whoop.
would have not expected for you to know that Kanye song.
Yeah, yeah, I love that one. And then it became that 21 Savage track about your girl having the crazy hair, like a Kanye tweet.
And then now it's ASAP Ferg, courtesy of me.
Yeah, value is has really moved me at a deep and emotional level because when when ASAP Ferg says yeah yeah ho, the third time there's like a melancholy and a sort of a nostalgia for a time that it was gone. Pierre, it's gone. Yeah ho, and I was like,
Yeah, ho.
he means my childhood was hard, but there was beauty there. And year, the fourth year, ho, is I'll never see those days again. And then the fifth year, ho, is I can live with this pain and it sweetens my daily existence. That's what I read.
You know,
It's a
you know what's funny,
value.
Richard? on my YouNow stream, I did a whole 1 hour analysis on my Lil Klimp track "Driver in Your Hole" in the
Oh, okay.
same way, in the same way that you just described that.
What's the hole? It's my pain. What's the driver? It's my phallic desire to take control, but I know I can't.
Exactly, and it explores the internal conflict of when to flip and when not to flip, and the
Right.
self-doubt that comes with the intention of
Yeah.
should I or not,
Yes.
But in the end, you succumb back to the primitive desires that you've tried to suppress for so long.
That's why you got to put the driver in the hole, homie.
And in the end, that's all that matters, Dude, because like, isn't it funny how 2001 Space Odyssey exists, and then like a bunch of these more cerebral, deep, philosophical, introspective films, but it never hits as hard as a yeah ho.
Nothing hits as hard as yeah ho.
But
Nothing,
why?
nothing. There was no lyric, and I mean this sincerely now, that had more of an impact on me in the whole of 2019 than the 21 Savage lyric. Your girl got that crazy hair, like a Kanye tweet, and it just got inside of. That's what a meme is. A meme is like a thought virus, and I was fully fucking infected with it.
When you were here in Prague, you said that after every 10 sentences.
It was like Tourette's. I had 21 Savage Tourette's. Because you'd be like, well, break down this Freudian concept for me. And I'm like, well, the superego exists apart the self that did it, and it regulates whether we perform, it's the superego injunction to enjoy. And then we would have a break in the conversation and be like, yo, this guy that crazy hair, like a Kanye tweet.
Dude, I don't think we went a day I didn't go a day there without hearing that from you.
Yeah. No, it was an infection, and I couldn't stop it. It was like I had to do it. If I went to a doctor, I'd be like, I've been infected with one single 21 Savage lyric.
But what is that? Why does that happen?
I thought it was, I genuinely think that when we were talking about mumble rap and how there's always been something like stupid and clever about rap. That's not new. But this generation has taken it to another level, which I think is the point of the mumbling. The point of like making no effort when you're doing your performance is taking what I knew as rap from like the late 80s and the 90s to the next level of I'm so good I can be dumb.
Yeah.
I'm so dumb I can be good. I'm so good I can be dumb.
Yeah, like I ain't even try and I'll still get the racks.
Still get it. And that one line, yo, who's got that crazy hair, like a Kanye tweet, is something a bored 13-year-old would come out with whilst smacking a pen on a table in a class. But it's like this beautifully formed haiku. There's no fat on it. There's nothing you can trim from that. You take any single syllable and it ruins the whole thing. So I love that.
Yeah. And it's just it's hilarious how that just penetrates through fucking anything else you could create. No matter how much effort and wordage and verbiage you put into any other type of music or project in general.
Yeah.
That's the shit that will stick with you for
days. Erika Bush just said it reminds me of Nirvana, not showing any emotion and using random words. Yeah, sometimes I've listened to Nirvana tracks and I'm like, I don't know. Like there are literally just random words shoved in there.
So as a musician myself, I have acknowledged this with Nirvana and obviously mumble rap and stuff like this. But so there's actually there's an intention behind this. It's basically so then the music itself, the tonality of it becomes more universal. It's not just bound by words. So it's not like only English speakers can enjoy the sound of the song. And on top of that, it allows you to copy and paste what you want it to mean and how you want it to feel too.
Right. God, Pierre, it'd be so good if you could release a track of randomly selected words.
I actually made a song. I made a song when I was like 19, and it was just a bunch of gibberish, like just a made up language for the whole song. I haven't released it, but
you should. This is because that's like getting into some James Joyce, stream of consciousness. William S. Burroughs would do it as well. And even though it doesn't make sense, it's not what your English teacher would class as good writing. When you consume it, it has an effect on you, and you're entering that person's reality, and it sort of works in its own way.
Yeah, because like words are great, words are great, but like when you, in my opinion, when you make a song, it should be about the sound of it, but that's not what everybody would agree with, because some people just love music for the words, and that's fine. Most of the time they can't dance, but but what I'm saying is like, I almost sometimes if the lyrics are too understandable and if it's too far up front of the whole mix, like general pop music, it just takes me out of it. I can't
Right.
it doesn't allow, I don't know, I can't copy and paste how I'm feeling. It just I don't know how to explain it. I don't like the sound of it, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose if it's too left brain, if it's too
That's it.
frontal lobe, you're not. I suppose if there's random words in there, it's easier for you to just project whatever you want onto it.
Well, okay, let's go a level deeper. It would be like a shamanic chant, right? Do they generally say actual words, or is it just like a series of sounds, or like
I think it's usually sounds. It's like ululations.
like
Yeah,
this
you were that sounded a little bit Tibetan right there. That was good. I
yeah.
like that. I got something from that.
Natural,
It's
man.
good.
It's something deep down in there. I don't know where it is, but I
Yeah,
mean
yeah. It's one of the past lives just pops
that's what
out.
I'm thinking. And for some reason, if I actually try, it comes out naturally. I don't know where the fuck that comes out of, but that doesn't have any words to it. But then there is like this weird layer stripping penetrative effect from using these sounds repetitively without any inherent word or meaning behind it. It puts
Yeah,
you in
I
a
would.
trance state.
Well, there's glossolalia. I remember Terence McKenna talking about that, which is I think when you've taken psychedelics, you can go into this state where you just start producing sounds that to you feel like a language, but it's nothing that's coming out. There is a Vietnamese Zen teacher called Thich Nhat Hanh, and he
Yeah.
sings sometimes in seminars, and it sounds a little bit like the sound that you just made,
What if I am the reincarnation?
dude. That's what they're saying, man. That's
Dude,
what they're saying. It's
what
right there. It's in you. It's what comes out of you.
what I was saying, if a monk or a Buddha were to reincarnate in 2020 with access to the internet, he would end up wearing a bandana with eye makeup, making YouTube videos.
That's what I'm talking about. You're a bodhisattva. That's what it is. No, I think it's important that there not be too much story, because if you have too much story, you end up with. Do you remember that song that was awful, but it went viral? It was by a girl called, I think she's called Rebecca Black, and it was Friday.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I woke up in the morning and I ate some cereal. Then I got into the car. I have to get in the car to go, and it's really shockingly shit,
Right.
because it's poetry should be evocative. You can't evoke when you're literally saying, "I put my left shoe on and then my right shoe on, and then I took 3 steps to walk out the door." That that's not how it's going to work. I watched an analysis video the other day of Eminem's lyrics and how he could make words rhyme by mashing words together and just
Right.
using intonation. It's really good how it was Orange. He was saying how he
Yeah,
can
yeah.
make
Saw
the
that.
word orange.
Yeah.
But he uses a lot of uh, it's non-left brain sentences. But I never
Right.
thought about that, because when I listen to him, I'm like, yeah, this makes sense. It totally makes sense. This isn't gibberish. But then when I saw it written out on the YouTube video, I was like, holy God, that's a load of crap. I
Well,
don't know.
actually, here's a music writing secret. I don't think no one ever talks about it because it's really helpful, and I think a lot of musicians do this, where you would just sing a melody, no, 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 we don't wanna, but then you just record it. You can't, and then this is at least how I've done it: is you do the melody, and then you replay it. No, no, wanna, I'm a fucking on you. I'm gonna on your bitch. you you pull out words. You can choose any lyric you want, but oftentimes it comes from a more abstract format. And I think even David Bowie would like he would slice up a bunch of words and piece lyrics together in that way too. And oftentimes the more timeless songs or the enjoyable ones are songs that are a little more ambiguous by nature, I mean, the songs that you can truly fully understand all the lyrics, they're great pop hits generally, and but they generally have like I feel like more kitschy feeling to it, stuff that you do at a karaoke bar. But the more
Definitely,
timeless stuff is just you are kind of blurry.
very blurry. I remember there's a lyric that I chuck at people sometimes to see if they'll get it, which is the return of the thin white duke throwing darts in lovers' eyes, and it's gibberish. And I'm like, wonder if they'll know that that's about. It's like, see if people get that it's a Bowie reference. Very few people do, and the only reason I've kept hold of that one because I'm like, there's no way he came to that from front to back. He never came to the return of the thin white duke throwing darts in lovers' eyes. He never was like, I want to write a story about character. He's the thin
Yeah,
white duke. What does he do? He throws darts. No, that never happened. He
right,
had to come from it the way you're saying,
right.
which is he just had a space to fill, and his unconscious just went throwing darts in lovers' eyes, which is an absurd thing to sing, but actually it makes total sense that this he's
Yeah, yeah.
creating this bizarre character of the thin white duke, and that's what he fucking does, and you just accept it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So in general left brain thinking, to create something, you think of like, what's the problem? How do you go about the solution? And
Right.
then you have the outcome. But
Yeah.
in creative work, it's best to go about, oh, there isn't exactly a linear pattern. There's no problem exactly. You kind of you have this like ambiguous melody, or you piece random words together, and then it's like, oh, eyes and darts. If we threw, like throwing a dart in eyes. What? Who? Lovers, lovers. That
Yeah.
sounds kind of nice, you know. And
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
you can even shift the words to make it make sense in the end. So it's like pulling meaning out of this completely ambiguous abstract thing.
And it might only mean something to him and one of his friends. It might be so specific, or it's an in joke, or something that somebody said wrong, or they misheard. But I haven't seen the film Parasite yet, which won all those awards. But I
I
saw
haven't
the
seen it yet.
director give his acceptance speech, and he said something about his idea of creativity is there's no such thing as being too personal. So if you're going to write a story and you just go, but it's so weird and personal and bizarre and unique to me, it won't have accessibility. He was saying, no, go into the weirdness. That's what gives it accessibility, to actually just lean in. Because when I've written stuff, I'm like, I can't release this. It's too odd. It's too fucking strange. Nobody's going to be able to, oh, yeah, I get this. Nobody wants to get it. They want to feel like they're in a strange land. That's probably why you want more sci-fi, because you're like, please, I know this world. Take
Right,
me to a strange world. Let's go
right.
there.
To loop it back to the Rebecca Black Friday thing, anybody can naturally tell when they're being pandered to. You know, I mean,
Oh, yeah.
you just know when an artist, like especially when artists get more popular, then they have to make a hit pop track, which the I guess like fucking dumb Coachella goers are just like, oh, whatever. But generally, they even know they're being pandered to as well, but they're just
Yeah.
willing to go along with the ride. But you know when an artist is purposely writing for the sake of, I don't want to be that weird. I want to be more accessible. I need to make it accessible. And then you hear the
Right.
track. Oh, I fucking like, duh. Like I know what you're doing here.
Yeah, you could definitely hear it. There's this Brazilian band I started listening to recently called Tropic Hillers, and they have a track that they do it's a collaboration with another Brazilian. They're huge. This is all huge in Brazil. Another Brazilian pop star called Anita, and they did a song called Bola Rebola, which means in English it means cake, cake, recake, and it's obviously
Okay.
they're going to be singing about bottom cheeks because there's nothing else to sing about. So it's definitely cake must be Brazilian slang for ass.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's a great track. I'll send it to you. In fact, we danced to it in the car. Remember, we would dance around in the car in a traffic jam in Prague.
I have the video, I think.
Right. That track is gibberish. It's like half slang and half just made up words. But there's a moment in it where it switches tonality and becomes like this is the pop section, and it could be Taylor Swift singing it. It could be Britney. It could be anybody. And I've always like, whenever I'm playing that track, it's such a good track when it's being authentic to itself, but it has this moment of mass appeal. And I'm like, ugh, sucks. They're going to make
Yeah.
money. It's great. I understand, but you really feel it.
But like but here's the thing. Even the widely accessible silly songs like that are widely accessible. I made a joke on a live stream that there's always one universal crazy pop hit, Latin pop hit that comes every 10 years. You have Macarena for one decade, and then you have
Yeah.
the Ketchup song. You remember that? I
Yes.
say, hey, hey, da-da-da-da. Like that.
Which is misheard English.
Yeah, is it?
Yes, she's singing. That's a Spanish girl who's singing the lyrics to "Rapper's Delight." I said a hip hop, the hippie to the hippie to the hip hoppy. You don't stop. That's her singing bullshit English. So she's singing. I said he did that, but he bad. She's singing in.
Oh,
Yeah,
what?
that's her version of "Rapper's Delight."
Like, is this like proven, or is this like
Yeah. Because there's no that she's not singing Spanish. That's not Spanish. It
what the
says in
fuck?
Yeah, if you read the Spanish translation, it reads as ese de hippie de hippie, and it's the Spanish ear hearing American rap music, which actually he
Whoa.
wasn't singing words. He was just singing, he just says, I said a hip hop, the hippie to the hippie to the hip hop, you don't stop the rhythm to the bang bang boogie. To sort of jump the boogie to the beat. She's doing that. That's the Ketchup song.
Oh
So
my
just put
god.
a high pitched Spanish girl's voice and imagine
Whoa.
you're from Madrid and you hear that and you don't speak English very well. And you go,
I said it.
I said
I
hip
said it.
hop, I said
Hop,
hip hop, hip hop.
heat, hop, hop, it is it,
Yeah,
everybody said, and- Oh my
that's
god,
it.
dude. No
That's it.
way.
That's it. Yeah.
What the
Perfect example, actually. That's a perfect example of singing gibberish.
holy shit. My mind is
And it
blown.
popped. It popped. It went global, man.
It's gibber. So this is exactly the proof. It's gibberish. It's widely accessible. It's weird enough to the person or the
Yeah.
artist because like you wouldn't make that song pandering. You know what I mean?
No.
If you were to pander that song, you would be like, no, like people
Yeah.
are not that. Like they wouldn't like that. It's just like
Yeah.
they wanted to make this like silly, like fun thing, but it wasn't
Yes.
for the sake of pandering.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, they would have wrote real lyrics for that thing, right?
Well, Macarena, the same thing. If people knew what Macarena was about, they wouldn't listen to it because it's actually a group of guys talking about a girl who it's effectively they're slut shaming her. She's very promiscuous,
Uh-huh.
and they're calling her. I'm pretty sure Macarena. It refers to Mary Magdalene from the Bible. So that's a slang term for a girl who's a prostitute who puts it about. That's what a Macarena is. So when they're going "Anda tu cuerpo Macarena," they're like, "Yeah, you got." The lyrics are like, "Yeah, you like going out and teasing guys, you dirty girl. You're a
Really?
Macarena." Yeah, that's the lyrics of that song. It's like it's not
What
a
the fuck?
particularly happy song, but you get these like innocent, cheerful looking Spanish dudes in suits going "Anda tu cuerpo alegría Macarena." You think it's like happy, but it's not a
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
It's not a
Speaking of
great backstory.
speaking of peeling the curtain behind trendy pop hits, have you heard "Who Let the Dogs Out"?
No.
You haven't heard "Who Let the Dogs Out"?
Oh, who let the dogs out? Oh, yeah.
I just sorry, I screamed that the first time. But do you know the theorized meaning behind that? I don't know if it's proven or not, but like, have you heard?
No.
Uh, I don't know if it's real or not. I've just read it a few times. A few people have
Yeah.
told me it could be just like a fucking lunchtime myth, but apparently it's about like who let the ugly girls in the club.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely that.
Yeah.
It's 100% that. Yeah. Who let the dogs out? Because when I was doing nightclub security, if you were on a door team with like say like a dude from Jamaica or Belize or somewhere like that, if we had problems with a group of girls or we knocked back a group of girls and they would start getting lippy, they would. Let me see. So you stood on a door, and then one of the so there's five guys there going, "Listen, you're too drunk, you can't come in." He'd turn his back and then go, "Who let the dogs out? Who?" And then turn back around with a straight face. So he'd be like, "What?" And they'd be like, "Oh, you just called me a dog." No, I didn't. No, I was just singing. I just like singing. This is the most passive aggressive, rude, just
Oh
way of
my
saying you're
god.
all a bunch of. Yeah, no, it's definitely 100% who let the dogs out is who let
Yeah,
the
is that what it is?
yeah.
Shit. Oh my
I thought there
god.
was going to be another theory, like an extra level.
No, man. But
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah,
isn't
yeah.
it amazing? That was only like 20, 30 years ago where these hits came out. I fucking hell with the language policing culture we live in now. Like you couldn't release half of this shit.
No, there was a big hit in the 90s that was basically just oh god.
Oh, there was also dong 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 dong.
There was the thong song.
Yeah.
We had one in the UK. I don't know if it was in the major charts, but all the clubs here would play it, which was "Put Your Ass on My Face." Do 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 do. I love the way your pussy tastes. Do 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 do. Don't
What?
stop, wiggle wiggle, don't stop. That
Oh
shit would
yeah.
not fly right now, man. 2020, no, thank you. No, thank you. Everybody be in jail. I'd probably be in jail now just for singing it, talking about the subject.
You know
Wiggle
what's
wiggle, it
crazy?
was called. Wiggle
You
wiggle, it was called.
would. Someone would clip that out of context and say, "Look what the sport and life
Look what
coach."
this fucking guy said. God damn it, bastard.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
well, a lot of it. I mean, there is, like we were saying, about the unconscious, and then just pure sex, like sex sells. That song by Michelle Tello that went global years ago, "I See You Chibego," which is "Oh, if I caught you." That's also quite strong if people knew the lyrics. The guy sings. It was I don't know if I don't. It wasn't big in America, and I don't think it was big in the UK, but it was big everywhere else. And it's a nice Brazilian song, great sound to it. And the guy sings, "Oh, Saturday night I went out dancing and I saw this really, really hot girl, and me coragem e comecei a falar." So I got my courage up, so I went over to talk to her. And what he says to her is, when he goes to chat this girl up in the club, is, uh, "Nossa, nossa, sim você me mata," which means, "Oh my God, you're blowing my fucking mind. I shoot you pego. I shoot you pego," which means, if I fucking got hold of you, you'd be for it. And it's like, well, sir, that's. I think that was
Yeah.
2011 that came out. If you put
Shit.
that in English, that's not going to fly, man.
Yeah, I mean,
That's not going to fly.
you could see the evolution of this approach too, because you remember that Blurred Lines song that was fucking
Oh,
everywhere.
yeah. But when Blurred Lines came out, even I was like, whoa, that's strong.
Is it?
He sings. One of the lyrics is, "I've got something here for you that would tear your ass in two." Now,
Really?
if yeah, if I was the producer on that, I'd be like, make something else rhyme. Don't put that. But they put it out. They put it out.
But is that any worse than like shit that you would have heard in the past?
"I've got something here that'll tear your ass in two." I mean, usually that would be gangster rap. You'd have
Yeah,
to be
right.
listening to the Two Live Crew or something to hear that.
I guess like the context of like the type of song and who it's played for
It was
makes a
in the
big
top. It was in the
difference.
top 10, right?
Yeah, because it's like, okay, so in the hip hop world, you can totally say shit like that and get away with it completely and have everybody like praise you for it too. But because it's a
It
pop
wouldn't. It wouldn't
song,
get airplay though. It wouldn't get airplay. Like you wouldn't be in the car with your kids driving them home from school and hear
I
that.
don't know. I've
But you.
heard like Nicki Minaj and Future say some really crazy shit on the radio too, though. You know what
That's
I mean?
true. That's true. Actually, that is true. That is
I,
true.
I think what it is that like the type of song sounds like maybe something some fucking other pop hits like Sam Smith might have produced, and because of the context of
Yeah.
what that song sounds like, it just
Yeah.
makes the meaning even more like weird.
Probably that's a big part of it. That is a big. It's a good song. I think it's a really, really good song. But I definitely, if I was looking at where that song was aimed at, they knew it was going to be big, and there was a big budget behind it. If I was producing it, I would say that one lyric. Well, the other problem is, I know you want it. You know you want it. Maybe I'm getting old and scared, but I'd just be like, "Don't, guys, just change it. Don't, for
But
fuck's
I
sake."
mean, like, how do you feel when a SoundCloud rapper is like, "I'm gonna fucking your bed, yeah, she gonna suck on
It's
the
fine.
dick," yeah. But why is
Fine.
that? Why is that
He can
fine?
he can he can offer to put his dick in my ear. Do you remember the Chris Rock stand up bit? The dick in the ear, the dick in the ear. He's not talking about me. He ain't talking about me. He said your name. if you're SoundCloud rapping, you can offer to put your dick in my ear, and I'll rap along with you. Be like, yeah, fuck me in the ear, yeah, the ear. But as soon as it changes context, I'm like, ooh, if
Yeah,
it's like you
why
said,
is
I
it
think if it sounds like a
so?
pop song, it's too much.
Yeah, why is it so different? Is it because it's like fucking what's his name? Robin Thicke, like tall white dude in a suit saying like,
Right?
I know you want it, I
Yeah,
know
there's
you have it. And is that just weirder? Like why is it like
there was that. Yeah, there's something with that one where the people who criticized it. I was at first I was like, calm down, and then I was like, nah, this one probably needs, but like you've just asked me justify it, and I can't because there's hypocrisy there. Because had it been a SoundCloud rapper, I would have said nothing. If Nicki Minaj said it, I would have said nothing. I listened to what is it? That girl I was originally mocking, and then I started listening to her and loving it, Cardi B,
Cardi B? Yeah.
where she's like, "My pussy feels like a lake. I'm gonna shove your face in my." Every song has a funny joke lyric in it about the girl's pussy. What was it? Uh, put a put a ribbon on my box because this pussy gifted. Wish wish, and I'm like, haha, that's funny. But you change the sound, and it changes the context of my mind. It sounds like a guy like you said, a guy in a suit, a crooner, a lounge room singer, and I'm like, oh, now it's wrong. I don't know why.
But that's kind of what it is. Maybe like because in my opinion, I hear the lyrics of the song and even the melody. It's like it's just pretty tame, man. Like I
Mm.
think it's like I know you want it. Okay, a little weird, but like it's all right, I guess. But then
Yeah.
they're getting like those they. I mean, that song got canceled pretty much a year after or something like that. But then like
Did it actually get
simultaneously
cancelled? Is it banned now?
it's just like there was like a ton of articles and shit written about that
Right.
song. And then the
Right.
video too with the naked models dancing with Pharrell and Robin Thicke like in the
Yeah.
middle. And it was like really what's it called? Objectifying or some shit like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
simultaneously, these rappers are just continuously doing that, and they're just talking about like putting my dick in your face, ho.
Yeah. No, I get it. I get that it's a double standard, and I don't know. I also suffer from it because in my head it's kind of okay, but in the context, yeah, it's. I think it's because it's a pop song. I'm just like, yeah, nah. And the whole thing with the video, I don't even know how that got cleared. It was being shown on YouTube, uncensored for years,
Really?
and yeah, yes, uncensored, and I'd be like, what? I don't get it. What are the rules? I mean, we're going back now. That's the old YouTube. That's the YouTube of before, but it was shown on YouTube completely uncensored, and I was like, I don't get this. I'm confused by this. I'm not pro censorship, but I'm sort of pro common sense, and I'm just like, there's some stuff maybe we should just, be sensible about. Keep it away from the kids. But that's it. Just keep it away from the kids. No kids should be listening to that kind of rap music. And if you're 12 and you're listening to
Okay,
that,
boomer.
I was. So again, it's complete fucking hypocrisy. That's all I listened to when I was 12 was Two Live Crew. I thought it
Dude,
was great.
I used to watch Eminem videos when I was like 11, dude. And then I look back at the same songs, like Without Me and all this other shit. And I'm like, dude, there's a straight up like offensive, like straight up so fucking rude and
Yeah.
like inappropriate in these songs. And they were just playing on the radio all over the damn place, man. And it was like, wow, have times changed.
Yeah, it's changed. It's changed a lot. Well, sir, I'm going to have to go soon.
All right, man. So what should we do?
I think, what did we learn today? Let's wrap it up with what we learned today. I think I
Uh,
learned something about the creative process today.
You can get away with saying putting dicks into ear as long as you rap it.
Right. Rappers have more freedom. Let's never do anything other than rap music from now on.
Fine with me, man. I got a head start. All
That's
right.
that's what I took from this. It was lovely talking to you, sir.
Indeed. So until next Wednesday, something like that.
Until next Wednesday from Tentacle Croissant. If you have a choice, always be a rapper. That's what you should take from this.
You can get away with anything.
Anything.
Anything. All right, man. Talk to you soon.
Cheers, guys.
Bye.